Yo, 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 what's up? It is Sunday morning, and it is time for your NFL pregame show. What is good with y'all? Week 12 in this thing. We are here with my dog, Dave Gorgon, and your boy Sturls. We're missing one today. Rob is living his best life in LA this weekend. So
went to the USC game. Is going to the Eagles game tonight. Good for him.
I mean, you can't be mad at him for that, right? Like,
nah.
But you know what? The show goes on, man. We're gonna do it without him, and this is gonna be a better show because he's not here anyway. So,
well,
but we do
at least faster.
At least faster. But we do have his picks though, so we'll jump into that. Real quick though, before we get started, how about them Browns beating the Steelers in a blizzard? Love that for the Bills. Love that for the AFC.
Blizzard. There wasn't 2 inches on that field.
Hey man, it was beautiful. Have you seen the pictures posted online?
Oh, it was gorgeous. Yeah, it was snow games, and that's for all the we need a dome. There's something about a game like that where everybody's playing. It looks great. People are slipping a little bit. It was a good game, and obviously, two AFC North teams that know each other, that play each other a lot, that play each other hard. It's just like the Ravens and the Steelers the week before. You knew it was going to be a game, even though you're like, oh, the Browns are terrible. That defense showed up, and, Jameis Winston, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it was nice. Hey, Nick Chubb made an appearance. He's coming back from injury. He's played for a few weeks, but he's starting to look back to form, man. It's nice to see, dude. But yeah, Russell Wilson. Man, he is not the same quarterback that was here with the Broncos. I'll tell you that right now. He does not look like the same guy.
No. I had a conversation with Rob. I actually took him to the airport when he was heading out to California, and we were talking about quarterback swaps moving into 2025. You think there might be 4 quarterbacks in college football that are worth a first-round pick for next year? But then you got a lot of teams that still need a quarterback. What are the Jets going to do? Where's Danny Dimes wind up? R.I.P. his career in New York, New Jersey. And we talked about, what's Pittsburgh going to do? Do you think they like Russ enough? They're not really explosive on offense, so you could probably put a placeholder in there. Cheap, that's fine. Justin Fields, okay. I don't know if that moves the needle for me that much.
Yeah, no.
Who do they go after?
Yeah, man. I think, speaking in terms of the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, I think you keep Russ for another year. He's cheap. He's on a cheap contract. And if you try to get another quarterback, I mean, listen, they want to play this defense, run the ball, control the clock, control the game. So it's like you can buy yourself some time, before you go get a quarterback. I mean, now, you got to trade assets because you're not going to be in the running to get one of those top 4 guys. So, and then that's even if you like them. I mean, what you want, Quinn Ewers and later rounds, second, third round? I don't want that, so you might have to trade an asset or something to get a better first round draft pick. But yeah, that's the problem. And we saw that with the Bills. We ran into that for so many years with these journeyman quarterbacks that are just good enough to get you to 7 and 9.
A mediocre draft pick, right?
Yep. We've seen it. We've seen it, and I don't want no part of it. So I'm all in favor of fucking tanking. You got to just tank, get up there, do what the Raiders doing. They suck ass. They're gonna get themselves a good quarterback.
Yeah, but hold on, they sucked ass for 10 years. Had a bunch of first round talent. Decided Cleveland Farrell was going to be the number 4 overall pick. When they picked him, I started laughing. I was like, Don't pick any of our guys. Don't pick any Cleveland Farrell.
Oh man, that was horrible. At 4 overall, that shit was awful. It was
Yeah,
awful.
no, not for me. Thanks.
All right, well, let's one more thing. One more thing, dog. Have you seen my Michigan Wolverines and landing the #1 overall recruit in the country and quarterback,
They're gonna
Bryce
need it.
Underwood? Yes,
They're gonna
sir.
need it.
They got
And
him.
Juju going to see you. So
Yeah. Hey, we love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, that's just quick little notes on that. Let's get into this week's slate of games. Man, we got some. I would say this slate is not too bad this week.
there's
There's
not a
not
lot of
like
top tier.
yeah, there's not a game that you go, oh shit, we gotta watch that game. Like it's
Only the Monday night game. That's
yeah.
the only one where I'm like, ooh, get your popcorn. Everything else, I'm like, it's football. I'd watch it, but none. You don't have a kind of a Sunday early game where you go, ooh, that's going to be, for us maybe Dolphins and
Yeah.
Patriots, just because the outcome of that could change some things for the AFC East. But that's about it.
So let's I'm gonna get my betting app up because the whole idea today is to win some fucking money today. That's what we're trying to do around here. So Rob is a straight better, but I'm going parlays today, baby. I'm trying to win some moolah.
There
So
you go.
I'm looking at doing maybe 3 to 5 team parlays. I think a 3-legger is not too shabby. I'm gonna
There are
tell
a
you,
couple easy ones, but those are the ones that aren't going to make you any money.
right? And you know what? Last week I had a 6-leg, bro. Okay. And you know what? I missed it by 1 game.
Was it the last game?
Yes.
Pull out. Pause. You got 5 out of 6. Take your
I got
winnings.
5 out of 6, bro. And it was at like 200, right? And I'm like, nah, I should just let it sit there. I'm gonna let it sit there. And then shit hits the fan, and then here you go. All right, so hopefully we got better luck this week. So why don't we go ahead and start off with the Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Carolina Panthers. Now, the spread on this one is minus 10.5 with Kansas City. Now, I will say that Carolina has played better in the past few weeks. Bryce Young looks like, it's much better than what we saw from him earlier in the season. However, you made a good point backstage. You said that, playing the Chiefs after a loss, you don't necessarily want to do that. So go ahead and talk about that real quick.
So on the BetMGM app, it's an 11-point spread. Again, Panthers playing better than they were, but better than dog shit, still not great. They also have, as of an hour before this, 1 person out, 1 person doubtful, and 8 people questionable in Carolina. That's a lot of injuries to go against a team that's probably going to be real salty about losing last week. Now, what we've seen from the Chiefs is we know they're not afraid to only win by a field goal.
Right.
And they're not great against the spread. 10.5, 11 points is a lot. Rob's common knowledge is don't tell any other team that they're, a two score dog to any other team. But I think the Chiefs are taking this one. They need it. They can't afford any more slip ups because the Buffalo Bills are on that ass. Even the Steelers after their loss, the Chargers, there are people coming for them, and
right.
they have a couple games that, they may not survive. So this is a winnable game. You got to win it. So I'm going to take the Chiefs minus 11. I don't love it. Rob actually went with the Panthers because his common wisdom is 10 points is usually that kind of line in the sand. If you got 10.5, I love it. A little bit more. 9.5 would have been kind of my money zone, but I'm still going with the Chiefs. I think Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo against a really terrible Carolina team that's already injured after a loss. I'm going with the Chiefs.
I hate betting this game. I really do. Like everything in me says, you know what? I'm gonna pound that minus 11, right? Like I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I'm gonna do the minus 11. Andy Reid, these guys are pissed off. They're going to come play well. And then part of me goes, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What is the
Mahomes is
his?
going to throw 3 picks.
It's like the Chiefs hasn't shown me all year that they could pull away from a team. So like I totally get why Rob would pick the Carolina Panthers at minus plus 11. Like just for that, I think that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go with the Panthers.
All right.
Because it's like
2-on-1, you're teaming up on me. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
no, it's all love, man. It just who have the Chiefs blown out? Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they won on the last drive or the last play or the last 2 minutes in I think 7 of their games. So where it's like, oh, they drove down against Cincinnati. Oh, what's his name? The tight end from the rookie tight end. No, it was Isaiah Likely had his toe out in Baltimore, and that's the only reason that they won that game. There's just been a bunch of games where it's like they were either losing or it was super close, and they wind up winning by 1 to 3 points, and you're like, I'm not impressed. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Right.
A win's a win. At the end of the year, you don't care about it. You just go, yeah, we're 9-1 or 10-1 right now. That's what you would do. But when you're betting, you're like, they really don't pull away like that very well.
Right.
So I get it. I get it. I think the Chiefs are going to be motivated. I think everybody going, well, you shit the bed last week. How do you come back from that?
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Okay, so next up on the list is the Detroit Lions visiting the Indianapolis Colts. Look, Richardson is back. I think he played pretty good last week, where I said that he'd suck ass, and I just wasn't, a fan of his preparation. Because it just looks like he's all over the field, even as a rookie. You just don't see the consistency. But however, he did string together a good game and have them boys playing well. And so, you look at the Detroit Lions, who they have blown everyone out of the water this season, just about. And you go, okay, you can't keep that up for this long. Like, there has to be a week where you say, okay, there's no way you're going to beat this team by 30 points, and so, right? It's like, where's the down week is what I'm asking you, Dave. Where is the down week?
So this is against an AFC team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the Lions, nobody's calling trap game. Let's put it that way. But I have 2 reasons. I'm personally taking the Lions at -7.5. They could very well win by 30, and that wouldn't surprise me at all. But 2 things that I think could change that math. One, if for some reason the Colts could actually find their running game and get Taylor rolling, keep the ball away from the Lions.
Yeah.
Same thing you do with Patrick Mahomes. You control the clock. You don't give Patrick Mahomes the ball back with 2 minutes to go. You hand the ball off, run it, get that first down. But also in Detroit, they have an issue right now at cornerback. They've got 3 CBs, including one they called up, that are all questionable. Rickshaw, Arnold, and Mosley, who they just called up, are all questionable, all have injuries. That's a recipe for some receivers to win routes against an injured cornerback who, maybe it's a hamstring, maybe it's a calf, maybe it's an ankle, and they're not able to backpedal. You give them one hard step, cut the other way, open field, you might be able to do something there. So if Richardson can keep his fucking head in the game and not take a break because he's tired, I'm sorry, you're a professional football player. Suck it up. And they run the ball effectively, you have a chance to keep this closer. But right now, almost any team against the Lions, I'm probably going to take the Lions regardless of the spread.
Yeah, so right now, against the spread, the Lions are 8-2 this season, and the Colts are 8-3. So these teams, they fare pretty well against the spread. So that's going to make it for an interesting game today. I mean, statistically, I'm trying to find some silver lining here for the Colts, and I just don't see a lot. I mean, they pass the ball 58% of the time, so so there's going to be more opportunities to score. there's gonna be more time on the clock. Whereas the Lions, they're pretty balanced. The Lions are in the positive EPA per run and pass, so that's the sign
Yep.
of a healthy offense. So Jared Goff has been playing well. I mean, you can't take anything away from these guys. So yeah, if I had my money, it's minus 7.5. I got to go with the Lions here for sure.
And Goff could have a 7 touchdown game. Goff could have a 4 interception game.
Right.
I think because they have the running back room that they have, Jahmyr Gibbs, I absolutely adore. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a guy where you go, that man's running.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid of anybody. He'll take some contact too. But I don't see a way for the Colts to keep up. It's an arms race, and the Lions have, they're like the Matrix. They walk in to the metal detectors, and it's just like guns, guns, guns. Everybody on their offense can score touchdowns. And last week, everybody on their team did score touchdowns. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, man. That's crazy. The Lions have scored 50 points in 2 games this season. 50. It's bananas, bro.
You talk about the Bills scoring 30 and 5 straight games, which is great. Don't get me wrong. Almost any team in the league is going to go, you tell me I'm scoring 30 points a game,
Oh
money.
yeah.
I'll take it. But then you get to the Lions and they're like, how about 50? Why not 50?
Yeah, they're incredible, man. I can't wait till the Bills play them. All right, so yeah, that's the Lions. I'm taking a minus 7.5. I think Rob's going with the Lions as well, minus
Correct.
7.5. So the third game we're talking about this morning is Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans. This is I think this is a sucker game. It's you got the Houston Texans at -8. The Titans, I mean, it's like they are so inconsistent, bro. It's like you can't, like, taking that -8, you're like, shit. Like, I'm worried. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of confidence in the Texans, but
You
the
have even
Titans
less
scare me.
confidence in the Titans.
Right. It's just like, damn, like this is one where they'll get you, because this could totally be a 24-20 game.
Yeah, 7.5. I mean, this whole morning slate of games is a little rough because you're looking at, other than the Vikings Bears game, all the spreads are 6 or higher.
Yeah.
Blowouts don't happen that often statistically in the NFL. Now, you've got a game that's 10.5, a game that's 11, and a bunch of 7.5s. This game on BetMGM is 7.5. I'm still going to go ahead and take the Texans.
Okay.
The Titans have nothing. At this point, they just,
No love, huh?
there's, for what? Their quarterback? No. Their offensive line? Mm-mm.
Their defense is good.
Their defense is good. Great. So this could be a 14-0 game, and we'd still win this bet. Hold Houston to 2 touchdowns, but can't score a damn thing. You know what? My concern is Houston scores 14 and the defense is good, and Tennessee gets a pick 6 and it's 14-7 and we lose the bet. Now, if you wanted to hedge it down to 6.5 points, I wouldn't fault you for it, but I'm still going to go ahead and take the Texans here. They're getting a little bit healthier, and I think it'll be fine. I think they'll be all right.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the Titans plus the 8 here, just because I think that defense travels. That defense travels, and it's pretty good, to where they can. This, like I said, this could be a 24-20 game, 26-20 game. I do think that the Texans will win this game, and just FYI, this is a divisional game, so those games are typically close, no matter who the better team is, right? So, I'm gonna go with the Titans here plus the 8. Now, the cop out, it would be to take the money line on the Houston Texans, which you could totally do that if you're going to string a parlay together. You get a little bit of insurance there, but I'm gonna win big today, so I'm gonna go plus 8 with the Titans.
Okay. The only thing, I get it. I very much understand why you would do that. Here's the fun thing:
Okay.
if the Titans win this, they're in worse standing for next year. The 8 points for you, 7.5 points for me. They could still lose this game, be in decent shape for next year, but cover the spread.
Right.
Right now, the Texans are 7-4 in the playoff race. The Colts are 5-6. Does that affect the long-term playoff standings? No, but as far as like top of each AFC, the Texans feel like the weak link here. So
that's fair.
I don't know.
I mean, that's fair.
You're making me want to switch up, but I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to go with the Texans. So Rob and I are on the Texans, and you got Tennessee here.
I'll give you one more thing. The Texans are so inconsistent, bro. For a team that now every team has injuries now, but coming into the season, we were all high on CJ Stroud. I mean, like, look at what they've gotten in the offseason. They went and got
looked amazing.
Danielle Hunter. And the fact that your every game is like a one-score game with the Texans, to me, that's a problem. That's a problem. Okay, so let's go into. I'll tell you now. I'm gonna tell you what their results are. Okay, 29-27 in a win week 1, 19-13 win Chicago, 34-7 loss to the Vikings, 24-20 win to the Jacksonville Jaguars, 23-20 win with the Bills, 41-21 win Patriots, and then they lost to the Packers 24-22, 23-20, 21-13 loss to the Jets, 26-23 loss to the what do you call it, the Lions. So it's like, man, these guys are always in one-score games, always.
Yeah. And if it's a division opponent that plays them all the time, my only thing I can say to that is I trust the Titans even less than I trust the Texans.
Okay. All right.
Because even with a good defense, you assume, the Texans, if they can score 14, is pretty good. Tell me a playmaker on their offense.
That's not important.
All right. What do we got up next? He just said next question. Next question.
They're just awful. They're fucking awful. All right, so we got Tampa Bay going to the drama-filled New York Giants, who released Danny Dimes, as you mentioned earlier in the show.
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito, man. DeVito. He's starting today, baby. So, all right, so you got the Buccaneers -6.5. Now, we've seen the headlines this week with the New York Giants. Okay, you get rid of Danny Dimes, you hear Darius Slayton throwing shit during an interview in the back because he's pissed because that's Daniel Jones' best friend. Dayball is just, I don't know, being a company man and just, hey, we decided to let him go. I don't know if it was Mara or this is a move that should have happened a long time ago, if you ask me. So coming into this game, Baker Mayfield and these boys seem to despite all the injuries on offense, they still find a way to score points, right? Like, I think that's a true sign of a good quarterback. So, but Tommy DeVito, I think he won 5 games last year in New York. So what do we make of this game? I'm going to go with the Giants plus a 6.5, but what do you got?
Ooh. So BetMGM has it as a 6-point spread. What I am seeing is Tampa Bay, even with, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, they were literally playing, I think it's K. Dotton, their tight end, and their number 4, 5, and 6 wide receiver. They're about to get Mike Evans back. He's expected to play today. Baker Mayfield is going to find some easy ways to get him back in rhythm. They were good even when everybody was out and he was throwing to literally, a broom and a dustpan. There's nobody out there. Like, nobody you would know. You don't know any of these names. Trust me. Well, Mike Evans comes back. That Tampa Bay defense is still good. I don't trust a team in complete upheaval. You still got the same coach, so you're not getting the coaching bump. You're going from Daniel Jones, who is a minus starter in the league, to Tommy DeVito, who has played some games for a scrappy New York team. I don't see it. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Buccaneers here, -6. I think they've been consistent throughout the year. I think there are some games they should have won. KC, sorry about that. but they're getting healthier. So you take a team that's already in kind of making good progression and playing consistently, and give them their number one receiver. I'm going to go ahead and take the Bucks here. The Giants just look like they're in free fall. There's nothing about that team screams win and barely screams cover. I think they can win by a touchdown, and if it's, I don't care if it's 6 or 6.5, a touchdown's a win.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So Rob has the Bucks. He's going to take the Bucks here. So I'll be the oddball out and give me the Giants.
all right.
Somebody's going to win, right?
What? Yeah. Either every week we never have consensus on all these picks, which is probably good because there hasn't been a week where we didn't go, oh shit, didn't see that happen.
Right.
Didn't see that team scoring 25 points. What the hell happened here? And it's usually either too obvious or a crazy trap game. And if we all go, oh yeah, that team's definitely going to win, Rob will say it every week. If we all bet on the Lions are destined to lose. Maybe not this week.
All right. So Dallas Cowboys visiting the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are favored to win this game. The spread is -10.5. Again, this is to me, this is a scary game just because it's divisional. Yep. And Cooper Rush, he's nothing to write home about. But again, it's a divisional game, and the Cowboys, on paper, you're like, how can you be this bad? You got a roster. How are you this bad? It's puzzling to me. So it's like, okay, you got to stick in here like with one of these teams, man. So it's like I'm so tempted to do the +10.5 with the Cowboys. What do you thought?
So I know Rob went with the Cowboys too. That's a huge spread. Rob's adage, don't, anything over 10, you're starting to get real dicey. I would understand if you take the Cowboys because, again, 10.5 points is crazy. Now, if you bet that down to 9.5, again, that seems reasonable to me. I have very little faith in this Cowboys team. The word on the street and Twitter and everything else is the locker room is dysfunctional. Nobody's happy. Nobody's playing well. At this point, it doesn't even feel like anybody's playing for their job, which should be an issue.
Yeah.
So while this is probably the one that'll lose it for me, I'm going to go ahead and take the Commanders. Jaden Daniels, as long as he can get back in that rhythm, their defense is good enough. Their offense scores points. They're fairly consistent. Again, you're betting on a rookie to get you an extra, basically 11 points to cover. That's a rough one. So I get why you guys are going Dallas, but I'm going to ride with the Commanders.
Hey, man, I don't blame you there. I don't blame you at all. I'm going to take the Cowboys +10.5 on this one.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got the Vikings at the Chicago Bears. The Vikings are favored -3. Now, we've seen the Bears. They're playing better, okay? They got rid of their offensive coordinator last week.
Yep.
And you saw a very different offense on the field, right? They just looked
one that looked competent,
right? And so I had the Packers in a landslide in that game. Okay, now,
yeah,
but the Bears hung in there. They lost by a blocked field goal,
only barely.
Right, I love that.
They screwed up my week last week. I was on fire last week, and that game was the one that killed me.
Yeah. So, all right. So I'm gonna go with the home dogs here, +3. The Vikings haven't really shown us anything the past few weeks that says, hey, pick me, be confident in picking us. And it's just like, it's just, you just never know what you're going to get. Now, this is a team that's 8-2. Okay. But I'm not saying they're a bad team, but man, the way they string together wins, it's just, there's nothing in there that says, damn, like I got to be worried about this or that. Right. It's just, their defense is really good. So that's, if you want to hang your hat up with the Vikings with Brian Flores. Jefferson. Right? Like the a rookie quarterback. See, I'm talking myself out of this right now. So yeah, what do you thought?
So for BetMGM, it's a 3.5 point spread. Rob went with the Bears. I know he actually called the Bears game last week too. He's like, no, I think Bears. I forget what the spread was, but he went with the Bears instead of the Packers and won that one. Um, so he's got some faith in these Bears. 3.5 isn't crazy. 3-point spread for you, that's a field goal. Worst comes worst, you get a push. I get why you go with the Bears. I'm going to go ahead and take the Lions here, or the Vikings here, at -3.5. No major injuries on either side. I think the Bears will make it a game, but I'm hoping this is a 24-20 kind of game.
All right, fine. I'll stick with the Vikings -3. I think this is going to be the one that busts the parlay, bro. I just do. But hey, we're going to roll with it. Let's go to Miami. The New England Patriots are traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Now, this spread is -7.5, and it's going with the Dolphins. But I'm going to tell you, the Patriots, they surprise you, man. They freaking surprise you. Drake May has been playing well, in my opinion.
Look pretty good.
Yeah, and that defense, is doing what they're supposed to do. This is a division game, so I'm gonna go with the Patriots plus the 7.5 here.
All right. We both know Joe Miller. One of the reasons I'm on Twitter is for tweets like this. Somebody at Coach Jim Fuller said, me hoping the Dolphins realize this is a trap game. #GoFins. Joe Miller posted this, I guess this was yesterday. I have seen multiple Fish fans talk about a trap game. Your team is ass. You're 4-6. You are the trap opponent. There is no trap game for you. Well said.
True.
Pretty amazing to think that anybody would think this is a trap game. I found that hilarious. So Joe Miller, thank you for that one. You gave me a good chuckle this morning. I think while the Patriots are doing well, I think Tua is finally back in rhythm. I think he's got his receivers. There were a couple injuries in this game that the Pats have 10 questionable and 1 out. Miami's Wynn, their guard, Armstead, their tackle, and their fullback, Ingold, are all questionable. Does that move the needle? No, their playmakers are still out there. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Dolphins here. Rob took the Pats as well. I get it, but I think while the Patriots have looked steady, I'm not seeing them scoring points. It does look like Miami's kind of starting to feel it again, starting to move again. So I think this will be a higher scoring game. I didn't look at what the over-under was, but
46.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I could get on board with the over there, but I took the Dolphins. Rob's on the Pats. Are you going with the Pats? You're confident?
I am.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Hey, it's still time to join us, buddy.
So the only game we have that's all three of us on board is the Lions.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into this next slate.
All right, let's do it. So we got the 2:00 slate. We got the Denver Broncos going to Vegas to play the Vegas Raiders. And this spread is -5.5 in favor of the Broncos. This is a Daniel Jones destination. If you haven't heard one, I think I think these guys are in play for Daniel Jones. I mean, they need a quarterback really bad. Not that for them to salvage their season, but you go draft a young rookie quarterback, and then you have a veteran in the room and Daniel Jones. I think they should jump on this. So
you're going to give Daniel Jones a multi-year contract, and if you're the Raiders,
I mean, at this point, for a cheap contract, hell yeah, absolutely, I'm going to give him a contract.
Absolutely. And if it's a Russ Wilson type deal where the Giants are already paying him a good chunk of money, he got a bunch of guaranteed off of that.
Mm-hmm.
You say, look, we'll give you 2 years, $30 million.
Yeah, you do it.
You do it.
You do it.
I could see it. I thought the same thing about Tennessee, though.
Yeah, that's also another destination. I do like that. But for the Raiders' sake, yeah, you should just try it and see. Draft your quarterback early, obviously, but you have a little insurance if the kid is not ready to play. So give me the Broncos. I do love what Drake, not sorry, I said Drake May. Shit. It's still early, man. I it's like I'm trying to get it together here, but
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, freaking Bo. Give me Bo Nix and these boys. Bo Nix, I mean, he's been balling. He has been balling. And you know what the funny thing is that he could be the rookie of the year. I know everybody's on the Jane Daniels train, and I understand. But
It's
Bo
one of
Nix,
those two. It's
yep,
one of those two.
Bo Nix is balling. So give me these Broncos, man.
I don't disagree. Raiders, obviously, an organization in free fall. You could name some people on their team, but you're not gonna go,
Right.
oh wow, that'd be nice to have on our team. Doesn't do it for me. There's not much out there for them. I don't think the Broncos are going to have any issues. Their defense looks pretty good. Their offensive's been moving the ball. Bo Nix is certainly it's Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels. One of them is going to be at least the offensive rookie of the year. But I think the Broncos, and this is going to be the second game of the week that we all agree on. Rob also chose the Broncos. He's been on that Broncos bandwagon most of the year. So here's hoping it's a one touchdown win.
All right. Let's go to the Packers and 49ers. This game's been played at Lambeau Field. Now you are the injury guy. You know all the injuries. There's a good chance.
Jesus.
Well, here we go. We know Brock Purdy isn't playing this week, right?
Correct.
So, what else you got on the San Francisco 49ers?
So their injury report, I had to take a damn screenshot of it because normally I'm like, oh, it's like 2 or 3 people. That's not too bad. Here we go. Tatum Bethune out, Nick Bosa out, Kevin Givens out, Christian McCaffrey is going to play, so that's fine. Trent Williams questionable, Jacob Cowing out, John Feliciano out, Brock Purdy out, Charvarius Ward out, Kittle is set to play. So you're going in with a busted second/third tier quarterback, a bunch of kind of the whole team's got injuries. You're already short-handed because of long-term injuries to some of your star players. The last couple weeks, Brock Purdy looked like a guy who would be drafted last because only 4 of his all-pro caliber players were on the field instead of all 6. Like, now you're hoping to do that with a backup.
Right.
I couldn't do it. So go ahead and give me the Packers here. Rob actually, I don't know when he bet this, but Rob bet San Francisco +2.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm sitting
Yeah.
here. I'm sitting here at Packers -5.5.
Right.
Rob's going +2 for San Francisco. I get it. They have some talent. I just don't. Who's putting it together?
Yeah, I don't know. And you know what's crazy? The spread. So 60% of bets have gone with the 49ers plus the 5.5.
Great.
Does that change your mind at all?
Not in the slightest.
Yeah, me either. I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah.
Let's go to Seattle. Seattle is hosting the Arizona Cardinals. And this spread is -1 for the Seahawks.
1.
That's that. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with the Arizona Cardinals, though. I just
Wait,
love what
your sports book is -1 for the Seahawks.
-1 for the Seahawks.
Interesting. Ours, at least as of this morning, was -1 for the Cardinals.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so I guess Vegas is confused about what's going to happen today. So, I mean, it's
Division opponents.
Yeah, it's division opponent. You know, the game is going to be close. That's one thing that we can just say. Yeah.
Yeah. That MGM is -1 Cardinals.
So, give me the underdog, right? Give me the Cardinals plus the 1, man. I think Marvin Harrison can have a day here.
I think this is where they establish themselves as the leaders of the NFC West. I think the
Yeah.
Cardinals are going to take this. I'll take the -1 in my case, and Rob also picked the Cardinals, so that's another clean sweep. So we got 3 games where we all
Yeah.
agree.
Man, remember when they said the Cardinals, they're just a bad football team when the Bills played them? You remember that?
They were under, in baking terms, they were underproofed. They had the pieces, they just weren't, the stew hadn't cooked long enough. It wasn't, they didn't give time for all the flavors to kind of settle and mingle. Now you've got a team where this defense looks pretty good. Kyler Murray on that naked bootleg last week. Ooh, wee.
Yeah, that was
Um,
beautiful.
so I don't, I like the Cardinals, and in that particular division, are the Niners unstoppable like they have been the last couple of years? Hell no.
No.
How about the Rams? Nope. Good, not great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seahawks? Eh,
Nah.
yeah,
Good
take
defense. They'll play good defense.
50-50. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Right now, I'm looking at the Cardinals and going,
They're the best team in the NFC West.
right. So, so basically, a 1 point difference for me is I think the Cardinals are going to win. They would have to
Yep.
win by at least 1 point, so it's at least a push for me.
Mm-hmm.
You probably got even better odds because you've got them at +1,
+1,
which is
baby.
crazy. So,
Yeah.
all right.
All right. So we got the Philadelphia Eagles in LA. Rob will be at this game.
In attendance.
In attendance, man. We got the Eagles -3. So we got an East Coast team traveling west. That's something to note. And then the Rams, man, they it's like every week, dude. They're in it. They're in it every week. And against the spread, the Rams are 4-6. The Eagles are 6-4. This is a tough one to bet, man. I would go with the Eagles here. I just -3. I just think that I think that this is a good matchup for the Eagles.
Agreed.
But we'll see. So I got the Eagles here -3.
So the interesting part, if this were an earlier in the day game, if this were the 2 o'clock game,
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd probably favor the Eagles a little bit more than it does as a night game, because all of a sudden, you're kicking off at what would be late on the East
Right.
Coast. So now you've got a team, the Rams have kind of their morning routine and their early afternoon routine, and then they get after it. I still think the Eagles are the better team here. Rob went with the Rams, which I 100% understand. Their record doesn't necessarily match their talent level
Right.
now that they've got a bunch of their team back. That being said, I'm going to go with the Eagles here, -3, and lock that up.
All right. Okay, so yeah, give me -3 with the Eagles. Rob is taking the Rams +3. So we'll see what happens. This will be interesting. This is one that could bust your bracket too. Monday Night Football, we got the Lamar
Best game of the
Jackson
week.
Ravens going to the Chargers. So SoFi is getting back-to-back games, dog. That's great for if you live in LA. This is a game that man, it could go either way. I mean, the spread is -2.5 in favor of the Ravens. I'm gonna go with the Chargers here plus the 2.5. I just think that Justin Herbert's playing the best ball of his career. Best ball of his career, man.
He looked so clean last week.
Yeah.
So clean last week. He was seeing the field in a way that I feel like you'd seen spurts of, but there had been only a couple games where you're like, okay, yeah, he's dicing it up. He's serving right now, and he's on fire. He looked so crisp in his decision making, his arm talent, the accuracy, the ball placement. And we've always known he had the arm talent. He has a cannon. And last week, he paired a rocket arm with laser accuracy and looked great. So while this may be tough, I'm going to take the Chargers. Again, this is an East Coast team going west and playing late.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see the Chargers take this one. I'll take the +2.5. Rob actually took this at +3 for the Chargers, so he's on Chargers as well. What do you got?
Oh, I'm gonna be a homer here. I'm going with the Jim Harbaugh on these Chargers, baby. This is the
There it
Harbaugh
is.
Bowl. J.K. Dobbins' revenge game. I mean, there's so much at stake here with these two families, these two teams. But I'm gonna go with the Chargers, man. I just think they're playing the better football right now. Just like you mentioned, Justin Herbert's and balling, and that defense is good. Whereas we know that the Ravens' defense is their secondary has not been that great, and so
Can I ask you about the Ravens' offense?
yeah,
Last time we saw them take the field against the Steelers, you lost to a team that didn't score a touchdown. How is one of the most impressive, prolific offenses with a crazy running attack and a good aerial assault? Should we be concerned about Baltimore's offense right now?
it is what it's always been. Like, look, I'm not a Lamar Jackson hater. Please, I'm really not. But if you take away that run game, now Lamar he's got to play quarterback. Not saying he can throw the ball, but that's not his strong suit. Throwing the ball between the hashes, that's not like what he does best, right? Like,
and let's be 100% clear here. Pittsburgh has a really good defense. They were able to, probably better than anybody this year, lock up Derrick Henry and pressure Lamar. Lamar had, I should have counted it, but 4 or 5 passes last week that he looked scared. He was like, oh shit, chuck the ball. And you go, throw it out of bounds, throw it at the feet of somebody. There were just a couple where he just flung it out there. I'm like, this doesn't look like the steamrolling offense that we had seen. The Bills came into. Again, Bills' run defense is not the same as Pittsburgh's, but it looked like a different team on offense. This Ravens team was playing its best ball early and seems to have kind of trailed off a little bit here in recent weeks. Any concerns there? Like you said it, the Ravens are coming back down to reality.
Yeah.
Whereas the Chargers, I feel like, are ascending and really hitting their rhythm right now.
Yeah. It's a tight window throws that worry me with Lamar Jackson. Like, we know he could throw a great seam ball, probably better than anybody in the league, but it's between it, man. It's those tight window throws, and you have to hit them with accuracy on time. Like if we go, let me see. I'm gonna go look at his big play, his big boy throw percentage here. Big time throws, he's 3.29%, whereas Justin Herbert is 6.16. You know, and listen, man, like there's no excuse. You can't say that Lamar doesn't have weapons. Like he's got all that now. Like what's the excuse? No, and I'm not saying he's playing bad, but like when teams start to like really crunch in, what are you gonna do? And that's what I want to see him fix. If
Derrick Henry isn't on fire, that offense looks pedestrian.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. Most of the season, Derrick Henry's been on fire.
Absolutely.
And that makes that whole offense look a lot better. And the fact that the Ravens picked him up, embarrassment of riches. You got Project Pat in the back blocking for him, and then Derrick Henry. You're just like, it felt like at one point the Bills had a 260-pound quarterback, a 265-pound fullback, and had like a 240-pound running back, and you're like, that's a lot of beef heading downfield,
bruh.
But you did say something, and I want to put this on the record for everybody watching. You said if in the playoffs, if the Bills, it's like, who do you want to win? You said you want the Ravens to lose. They've already got 4 losses. So for the Bills, I'm thinking maybe we want to get a 4th loss to the Chargers and really kind of put some distance between us and everybody else. You said you wouldn't be afraid if the Bills got the Chargers in the playoffs.
I wouldn't be afraid.
Why not?
Because, well, first of all, the Chargers in the playoffs, they just the pressure and all those things, they haven't shown me what they're capable of in the playoffs. Justin Herbert, he is not like, again, he's played the best ball in his career this year, but in the playoffs, Justin Herbert's been terrible. So I'd rather have that and a young football team and a new head coach versus a grizzled veteran and Derrick Henry. I mean, they got game breakers all over for the Ravens. So I'd rather have what I know, defensively, I think the Bills match up well with, because they're going to make you one-dimensional. And I don't think that the Chargers' run game is excellent, right? So,
yeah.
So that's why I say that.
Okay. And Rob said this last week, and we've talked about this as Bills fans for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen struggles the first time he encounters something. When he went to the playoffs, not great. When he, Monday Night Football, all of a sudden he becomes ascendant. Thursday night, same thing. It's not going to be his first rodeo. If he winds up getting the Chargers in round 1 of the playoffs, assuming they don't get the bye, I don't think he's going to be worried. I think the Chargers would be maybe not able to live up to the moment.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now we got four games that we all agreed on: the Lions, the Broncos, Cardinals, and Chargers. Now the rest of it is a mixed bag. So one of us is probably going to do. We're all going to wind up at 500. Let's be honest. But it'll be interesting to see the outcomes of these games. Other than that Ravens-Chargers game, is there any game that you're super interested to watch?
I want to see this Packers and 49ers game just because of the pageantry, the history of these two franchises. And I think Jordan Love is phenomenal. He's great.
Only one that's really given me any spark, and this is obviously an AFC East take, the Patriots and the Dolphins. If the Patriots win this one, Dolphins are going to find it real hard to crawl their way back into a playoff spot. Now, the Patriots are basically done. So at this point, they're just hosting spoiler to anybody they can. Now, that's a team that I think the Patriots have some talent, and they're growing. Give it another year, and you might really see some stuff. But that's a game as an AFC East kind of fan that I'm interested to watch. So morning game, give me that Dolphins and Patriots game. Afternoon game, give me that Niners and Packers game, and then Monday night, Ravens and Chargers. So there's stuff to watch this week.
Yeah.
It may be more red zone than anything.
Right.
But, as a Bills fan, I will be doing it from the comfort of my couch with some snacks and some beverages.
Same. Cannot wait. We don't have to have any pressure or worry about anything today. We're just going to be football fans and enjoy. So
easy breezy.
With that being said, this has been your NFL pregame show with Sterling Furrow and Dave Gorgon, and we will be back next week, man. It'll be phenomenal. Make sure that you like it, follow it, and subscribe to the show. And it's going to be Thanksgiving this week, so make sure you get your turkey ready, baby. Mine's going to be in the brine in a couple days. I'm going to be ready to go. Be smoking that thing.
Ooh. I did mine 2 weeks ago, and it turned out amazing, and I'm going to another one this week, so I'm ready.
Mr. Chef, you are. All right, man. Well, that'll be all for us, man. You guys be good to each other. We'll see you later. See you next week. Peace.